In a world full of lies, one man goes on a mission to expose the secrets and lies behind the greatest Transformers fandom conspiracy theories. This is the Cybertronian Files. So, remember that time we saw Model Master in Age of Extinction? Oh, you don't? Well, wow, then this is gonna be quite the rabbit hole for you. Not gonna lie guys, I'm feeling a bit nostalgic for Age of Extinction. I still remember being a little kid coming back from school. First thing I did was open up my laptop and going on YouTube to see the newest Rage Nation video.
What's up Rage Nation, how's it going? This is Alex, you watching the Rage Nation show Transformers 4 edition. This is just Webster's, we're talking about all things that matter.
Man, those were simpler times. Back when I used to think that Age of Extinction was gonna be the greatest thing ever since sliced bread. In all honesty, I have nothing but fond memories of this time period, even if Age of Extinction didn't live up to the hype for some, because of its many questionable choices. But hey guys, the Fire Brothers here. It's just me. My brother couldn't be here today because he was stuck in the couch. So it took us around 500 my brother couldn't be here today jokes just to get one that's accurate. So yeah. But anyways, these are the jokes. Hopefully you guys are enjoying them. So in today's first episode of the Cybertronian Files, we're gonna be talking about the Model Master hoax. A very popular hoax during the days of Age of Extinction, but you don't exactly see be referenced or talk about that much in the modern day. Now, allow me to set the scene. It is the year of our Lord, 2013. Jesus Christ, has it been 10 years already? It honestly doesn't feel like it's been that long ago. Today is August 25. You come back from school, open up YouTube, and check out the newest Rage Nation video, and it says Model Master is in Transformers 4! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. If my memory serves correctly, I think this was one of the first few hoaxes we started hearing about Age of Extinction. By this point, we knew very little about the movie except the cars that were gonna be on it, some of the Autobots and their names, but we never really got any clear looks at the robots till way later down the line. And I think that with the exception of Rise of the Beast, Age of Extinction was a Transformers movie in which we went the longest time without knowing how our robot cast was gonna look like. Because by this point there were talks that Age of Extinction was gonna be a reboot, and oh boy were we wrong about that. There was a lot of like speculation and fan theories as to who the new Autobots were and how they were gonna end up looking like. I might talk about some of the quote-unquote Optimus Prime leaks that we got around this time, because there were a lot of like interesting fan interpretations. There was a lot of speculation that we might see the Stunticons around this time. That was a very popular theory, since a lot of like the KSI drone cars did look like potential Stunticon vehicles, and we also saw a lot of like Stunticon-esque supercars around the set, so this got a lot of people thinking that the Stunticons were all but confirmed. I'm just telling you all of this so we can set the scene. Halfway throughout the video, as Alex goes through all of this, he then brings up the infamous concept art, the one with Model Master chasing Optimus Prime. And now, this was around the time where leaks of this variety were not as common. It's not like today where you have people like Raha Manoharan on YouTube, which makes pretty convincing animations that you could honestly say they're real or taken from a webcam. Back then, while it's not quite early 2000s level in which no one knew how to use Photoshop or like the tools that we have now to make high-end content like this was readily available, this was more of like an in-between period where yes, things like this did happen. There's plenty of animations on YouTube of fan-made Transformers you could say look pretty legit, some more than others. This was just around the time where digital art was starting to take off, and some people took full advantage of this. Now, at the time, no one really knew where this concept art came from, only that it looked cool, and don't get me wrong, it looks cool. I almost wish we got this instead of Galvatron in the movie. And it looked very legit because it had like the same, labels that you will spot on a regular, Transformers piece of concept art. And this made people ask the question, is this an official design or is it concept art? Things were not helped by the second image that was quote-unquote leaked alongside this one, where we see what it looks to be an Age of Extinction menacer chasing Optimus Prime throughout the fields in Texas, which we knew where the movie was gonna take place in. And a lot of the fandom honestly believed it because it seemed pretty obvious. Stunticons in the movie, supercars, Optimus Prime and Model Master colliding against one another on set, much like what happened in the G1 episode. The theories were rampant and everyone seemed to believe that this was going to be the case. There was also some other concept art, but honestly we don't need to talk about those. We could always talk about them another time. And the Rage Nation's video got quite a bit of traction, 151,870 views by the time of this video. In fact, they got so popular popular that most of the Transformers fandom just believed that the Stunticons were gonna be in the movie. Since around October 26, 2023, the fandom was still talking about the Stunticons and Motor Master. It wasn't until November 3rd where we finally found out the identity of the mysterious black truck. Which, it bamboozled a lot of people, it bamboozled me as well, cause that being Galvatron, you know, it felt weird, like, not being Motor Master. Like, Motor Master made so much sense that when we found out it was some other character, the fandom kind of went in denial. Like, everyone was like, no, that can't be true, like, that doesn't make any sense. There was confusion, denial, bargaining. I'm just saying, the fandom wasn't hitting some serious coping around that time. And you know the rest. The movie releases, there's no Motor Masters, there's no Stunticons, just a bunch of generic, faceless Cytrons that get killed really easily in the movie, despite them being supposedly better than your typical Autobot and Decepticon. So, that begs the question, was the Motor Master leak a fake? And if so, where it came from? And the short answer to that is yes, this was a fake. And as for where it came from, it looks like this image right here was actually an edit of an already existing image. It's this image right here, illustrated by a guy named Ron Shagwa on August 31st, 2009. As you guys can see, if we put the two images side by side, they're literally the same image. It's just that one was edited to fit the Age of Extinction Galvatron truck a bit better. The origin of this image originates from a place called CG Society. It seems to be a place where various artists just, share their works, be it, 3D models or illustrations of any kind, kind of like DeviantArt, but it seems to be a bit more professional and way nicer. So I'm gonna read the description of what the creator said in regards to this image. In my design, Motor Master transforms to a Kenworth T800 or something else. I just found one photo by the internet and not quite sure about the type. The truck is really cool, so I picked it and designed the whole robot mode. All of the work done by Photoshop. I finished most of the drawing, only some details copied from photo. This work was done last year. I didn't do anything like that after I finished it till now, cause I'm really bored about this kind of drawing and concept. I hope I can find some fresh feeling of drawing machines. Suggestions welcome. So this guy made it, and by the language used, you can tell that he's probably not a native English speaker. I think that was probably just someone who's very bad at typing, which, I'm not gonna hold anything against them. I mean, have you seen my videos? There's spelling mistakes everywhere, okay? Now, he does link to two URLs. One is supposedly of the truck that he based Motor Master out of, and the other one is supposedly the process of the painting. Unfortunately, both links seem to be dead by now. This original post seems to have gone very under the radar, because it seems that not a lot of people view this image, or from here at least. Only 8,000 people out of the Raging Nation's 151,000 who unironically believed it was Motor Master. And keep in mind that this is not me slamming the Raging Nation, because A, he didn't know better, B, we all made mistakes like this, especially during the Transformers hype days. I mean, remember the Battletrap fiasco? But something to note here is that if you actually go to his actual profile on the website, you will see a lot of familiar concept art, like the Decepticon Dead End based on the Aston Martin DBS. He also has a lot of other concept art that honestly, it's so bizarre because this guy kind of predicted the future. This was made in 2009, and it's of a Decepticon Dead End, a supposedly Aston Martin DBS, which ironically enough was one of the cars that was being speculated to appear in Age of Extinction. He also designed this robot mode for tracks who would eventually be taken by some of the people behind the Hoax and turn it into a concept art for Drift. And he even made a concept art for Mirage, which I don't quite remember if this one ever got made into a Hoax. This is my first time viewing it and not being the wiser. Honestly, this guy's stuff is actually really good. It's so weird how he almost predicted what our Decepticon villains are gonna be in Age of Extinction. I mean, he got the types of car mostly right. If you look on places like the FW 2005 website, around this time, many people wonder if, the Motor Master image was real. It looks like some people managed to figure out that it was fake, but it looks like the damage was done and almost everyone believed that the Stunticons are gonna be in the movie, since it wouldn't be till months later when, Galvatron got pretty much leaked through toy listings, and there were zero mentions of any Stunticons and the like. Some people were able to, put two and two together, and some people managed to figure out that it was just fake. Honestly, seeing these pictures again and, going over them and their backstory and where they originated from, it's honestly kind of fascinating. If you go to the Raging Nation's comments for both videos where, they first talked about Motor Master and when they were talking about the Stunticons being in the movie, if you look at the comment section of both videos, you can see that a lot of people were just excited. Like, this was cool, the designs look cool, and, People just had high expectations coming off the high that was Dark of the Moon. There was this general, feeling of excitement around the fandom. Yes, granted, Dark of the Moon did some things horribly wrong. Starscream died like a little bitch.
Bitch, you just jealous of my Super Saiyan swagger.
For f***'s sake. Shockwave was barely in it. Soundwave died way too quickly and Megatron arguably did nothing. But still, most movie fans' favorite movies either 2007 or Dark of the Moon for a reason, so the movie clearly did something right. And yeah, but this leaves one question open. Who started the hoax? Because, I mean, we know where the images originated from. We know who did one of them at least. But where did this one came from? And who edited this one to look like this? And well, to know the answer, we need to go back to the Raging Nation's YouTube channel. Now, according to him, he got sent these images from someone, one of his followers. Now, when you click on the link that he has in the description down below, it takes you to the Facebook page, where it says Transformers 4 concept art and includes some of the fan art as well. And it has some of the, very infamous fan art, which was more likely than not stolen from Ron Chiago in CG Society. Luckily for us, Kid Okano on Facebook left a post that links to a TFW 2005 website board, which clears some things up. And in here, I want to read a very interesting piece of the board by a notable user in the website called Gabriel Prime. Update 2013, August 27. Well, one of the members here wrote that the storm of rumors already started, so I'll just add a few more raindrops. Once again, the wonderful character art which fits right into the TF4 ambience by the talented Juan Chago, Photoshop work and environment art by me. And here we get a picture of the Pagani Huayrai, right next to the artwork that we saw from Ron Chago. And if we scroll down a bit more, we can see an earlier update, where he takes credit for the Texas chase scene. Again, he credits Ron Chago, so it's not that it was stolen. And apparently he says that he actually worked on the environment and the concept art for these two images right here, which are the same images taken from Ron Chago. So fellas, it looks like we found our culprit. Gabriel Prime from TFW the Sci-Fi website seems to be the source of the infamous Mother Master and Stunticon images that we all seen in those cringing Transformers full robot cast videos made by 13-year-olds on YouTube. Not gonna lie, that actually really takes me back. So it looks like mystery solved overall. I mean, we found out the source, we found out who did them, we found out who modified them. So why does this turn into a hoax? Well, the thing is that unfortunately, back in 2010, more or less, the internet landscape was way different. Now, it's not like the early 2000s, which was kind of like the Wild West and people could just post anything and people would believe it. But there was a lot less connectivity, especially online when it came to the Transformers fandom. For the most part, people just kept to themselves in the TFW5 website, in YouTube comments, YouTube communities, Twitter, Tumblr, whatever it is that people use around the time. This actually made it pretty easy to spread rumors like this about X character being in the movie by showing fake concept art like this. Now, I don't think Gabriel Prime had any, malicious intentions in all honesty. I think this is just one of those cases where things got blown out of proportion. One guy did this and made it expressly clear that it was just fan art and that it was not real, while another guy took that and showed it out to his friends and he said, "Yo dude, this is totally real," and he went on from there. It's like a game of telephone, but with liars. And honestly, yeah, this is pretty much about it for our first Transformers Hoax video. And honestly, the resolution to it is pretty simple when you think about it. But I'm not gonna lie, the effect that this had on the fandom was wild because most people genuinely believed that the Stunticons were gonna be in the movie. And for the people who didn't know better, this just cemented it even more, especially with all the concept arts that 13-year-old kids that will go on Google Images and type in Transformers 4 Stunticons will see, just, help spread rumors amongst the fandom, for those who didn't know any better. But honestly, I can't help but wonder how Age of Extinction would have played out had the Stunticons been on it alongside Mother Master. Thinking of a fight between the Age of Extinction Dinobots against a giant Menasor will sound so cool. It actually makes me very upset that we never got that version of Age of Extinction. Like, it just sounds so cool and such a simple and natural, sequel to Dark of the Moon, just having the Stunticons be the main villain, have the Combiners return so they can fight off the Dinobots. It sounds like the recipe for a great action scene, but instead we got a generic KSI robot army that did nothing, achieved nothing, and got killed really quickly. Honestly, with the exception of Lockdown, I would have much rather preferred to have the Stunticons be in the movie than Gabatron and his KSI drones. But yeah guys, that's the story of the Stunticons and the fake Model Master leaks. Overall it's pretty inoffensive, all things considered. There have been more malicious hoaxes out there, and I kinda wanna make a video talking about separate hoaxes throughout the years of, the Transformers movies. Now, I'm just starting with the movies, but I'm not gonna limit myself to those. If you guys want me to cover games, series, or even toys or that kind of stuff, I'm more than happy to do so. The movies are just the thing that I'm the most familiar with, and it is one of those hoaxes that, a lot of people do seem to remember for the most part. And not that we live in a world where hoaxes are way easier to point out as fake, this is one of those hoaxes that just makes you look back fondly on something. Think of it like in FNAF with Sparky the dog and a bunch of very early on, fake hoaxes. Like the FNAF 2 purple guy. And yes, before you ask, I did take inspiration from FNAF to make this new video series. Hey, that's how YouTube works, don't sue me. But anyways, let me know in the comments down below, would you guys have preferred this to be real? Have the Stunticons alongside Motor Master be the main villains of Transformers 4, or maybe part of the main villain crew, replacing Gabatron and the KSI drones. Personally, I think it could have been a little better, but I'm not entirely sure, because against the Dinobots, I feel like that would be overkill. But who knows, maybe they could have made it work. I mean, Rise of the Beast, as much as I have complaints with that movie, I think it did handle, a smaller enemy cast relatively well, while also having the broken, busted out, new faction in the form of the Maximals. There's actually a lot of similarities between Rise of the Beast and Age of Extinction when you actually, do sit down and think about it. There's even several infamous hoaxes in Rise of the Beast that are very notable that I might make a video on for the next part of the series. Maybe, we'll see. But if you guys have any hoaxes in mind, it could be concept art, supposed leaks and listings, or things that people said, let me know in the comments down below. I might investigate and make an in-depth video about them in the future. So yeah, as always guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do what that annoying YouTuber stuff that the algorithm likes so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe guys. Anyways guys, before we go, shout out to our super cool incredible Patreon, James Newbold, Crawley666, TF Cypher, D Taylor, Legend of Swoop, King Sparta, Crazy T-Rex, Orina64 Studios, Superstellar Formers Hedgehogs, Xavier the God, Stitch Productions, and Scrub Lordo. And an even bigger shout out to our even bigger Patreons, Jordan the Great and unexplored23, who donated a amount of money. If you guys want to shout out your subs, all you gotta do is donate to my Patreon. I give access to videos early, you can request your own videos, collab with me in some of my videos if you choose to, and of course you get a shout out to your channel. Be sure to check out my Patreon's channels, the links will be in the description down below for you guys to check out. Some of them do Transformers content and some of them do whatever it is they want to do. Thank you all for your support, it helps out the channel a lot, but keep in mind that it's entirely optional because freedom's the right of all sentient beings. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.